Alright, Taurus, welcome to Tourmaline Tarot. We're going to do April, and we're going to call this the Major Issue Reading, because we are going to pull from the majors, see what your themes are for April, and then clarify with a whole deck. So it's like a big enchilada smorgasbord. Right. April for Taurus. What are we looking at? Okay. So in general, we have the Fool. In romance, relationships, we have the Tower. Don't get upset. Then we have transformation in finance, career stuff. So what are the challenges we have on top of these? In general, we have the Empress. And in relationships, we have the Hermit. And in the career sector, we have Hanged Man. I just say career, finance, etc., but I mean that as a whole umbrella of, money, etc., stability, yada yada. So, if we're reading this cold, just looking at it overall, in general, you have the Fool and the Empress. So you want to go. You want to go and do things. The challenge is debuting it. The Empress is the mother card. She brings things out. She is kind of like the dawning card for me. She's like, you've taken that internal stuff, you're putting it out. So, is it fully cooked? Did you completely bring it to fruition? Did you do all the work to go into it to bring it out? Is there some kind of challenge that's kind of holding you back in that respect that you might feel a little stuck on? Now, talking about relationships, you have the Tower challenged by the Hermit. You might feel like the Tower is like, you're looking at stuff going like, I don't see how stuff is going to work. Things have to be different, but how are they going to be different? And the challenge is going inside yourself or somebody else's pull back and kind of pulling that energy back to examine what it is. It's not necessarily bad, but something on a ground level doesn't have enough of a foundation, or it needs to be rebuilt, or there has to be some kind of shift, some kind of evolution. If stuff doesn't grow, then like, why are we still planting the fields? You know what I mean? Looking in the career sector, you have the transformation with the Hanged Man. So I feel like with the transformation card, that's death. There, like I said, there's change. There's something that is affecting it that is, something needs to evolve. And with the Hanged Man, the challenge is figuring out how that is going to manifest itself, because the Hanged Man is that pause energy, and you have, the Hermit is a pause energy. Even if you have this general energy of like, let's go, like, let's do it. There might be something that's hamstringing you just on a practical level that you didn't think about. We're going to clarify now with the whole Rider Waite deck and see what's going on for Taurus here. Taurus, April, let's clarify these. All right, Knight of Swords wanted to pop out. It's that go energy. Like, I want to go. I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear sitting around. I don't want to hear pausing. Let's figure out how to undo that, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, here we go. So we're going to pull. We got Ace of Cups, the Fool. You literally have the... and Death. So that's in general, right? On relationships, you have Ace of Swords, Strength card, 10 of Cups. Okay, so like I said, Tower is not that bad, right? On career stuff, you have 7 of Cups. You have the 2 of Cups. And then you have Justice, right? So if we're looking at this, we'll clarify a touch further. But looking in the general, you have the Ace of Cups and the Fool. So yeah, you feel a certain way about stuff. Like you're excited. There's like this, like, let's go. The cup's literally running over in the Ace of Cups. But then you have this Death card that is like, wait, what? I have to wait. Like, you might have had a couple like false starts, or you're like, this is it. And then it was not it. And then you're like, this is not it. And so that kind of energy where stuff, like I said, there's this evolution change vibe going on overall for you. But So how do you bring it out then? How do we do that? That's next round. We'll get there in a second. Talking about relationships, you have the Ace of Swords. There is some kind of clarity. There is some kind of truth. There is some kind of like realization and stuff that is kind of coming together about how do you get to this Ten of Cups. So yeah, the Strength for me is kind of like a duh card. It's like, duh, I have to be strong and do the right thing. You're like, thanks, Tarot. But to get to this Ten of Cups, this Ten of, this happy, fulfilled, happy family, etc. Family might not be your goal. It doesn't have to be blood. Family is any group that you feel at home with. So looking at the career stuff, you have Seven of Cups. So there is some confusion there. There is some kind of trying to narrow it down because you want something that is balanced and reciprocal, right? The Two of Cups doesn't necessarily have to be like a love relationship. It could just be something that is relationship based. I'm just going to point out you do have the medical cross in the two snakes around the staff in the back. There might be something that you're involved in the medical field, something in that. It doesn't have to be a doctor, nurse, or any patient hands-on. There's a lot of adjacent stuff like billing, insurance, and transcription, and all those kinds of things. So, it doesn't have to be that. But it just jumped out at me. But overall, there's justice. And the justice for me is that personal decision. Justice is the one that says, this is what I'm doing. So I think there is a decision that gets to be made because you come across something that is that balanced, reciprocal situation where you don't feel like, you're just kind of in a loop. It feels just overall beneficial. So the energy is good, but let's clarify a little further. So with this, the death, what is Taurus changing up? What is happening? Taking action and making decisions. I know that sounds kind of like duh, but I think moving ahead, I'm going to clarify what kind of decisions, because it's like, thanks, Tarot, I know that. Okay, what kind of decisions is Taurus making that is going to move them forward? Six of Wands. Six of Wands is the victory. So I think you might have to keep trying and pushing a little bit. Also, this card can be about ego. So there is an element of feeling yourself. There's, I'm not even going to call it fake it till you make it, because you already are it, Just other people haven't gotten on board yet. That's how I'd like to view it. So if you have the Six of Wands, keep going. Keep your mojo. Ain't nobody going to break your stride. Ain't no one going to slow you down. Keep up with that attitude. And you know what? You know it inside. Just until other people get their reading glasses on, they might not see it 100%. So now talking about relationships. That's too many. What is Taurus going to do? What is Taurus going to do? That's still too many. Don't make me shuffle you. Do not make me shuffle you. My goodness. I'm just going to point out the King of Pentacles is there. I must have Wands. And that was Eight of Wands that popped out with it. All right, don't make me shuffle you. All right, thank you. Hi. That's what wanted to come out. King of Pentacles. So this is like, they call it the husband card, but you don't really have to go by gender. But this is the dude that has his act together. Soup to nuts. Knows what he's doing. Might have a touch of an ego about it. Remember we talked about the ego back there? There is that kind of feeling yourself. I think you just need to embody this energy that's just like, no, you don't move the mountain. Let the mountain come to you. That kind of energy. You're like, that's nice. There's almost like this unbothered, like, So looking at this justice, what is Taurus doing to bring about this, like, good decision and stuff? Judgment. That's the divine version of justice for me. This is the one where universe is like, I see you. I see what you're doing. I see you putting in the work, doing all the right stuff. Here, let me just help you out here. So what can Taurus keep their eye out for when these little things are popping up? Not all the pop-ups. Give me just one. Just one, baby. Okay. Four of Swords. Okay. This, people are like, it's depression. It's blah, blah, blah. No, this is taking a hot second. This is, you know, if you look back up here at the window, this guy is, you know, praying and doing his thing and everything. This guy's making sure that he's rested. This guy's making sure that when the stuff shows up, he's ready to go because he took a nap. You know, like, you need to recharge. There's a touch of recharge going on there. I don't think it's, I never, depending on what it's by, but with these cards, I don't get that. It's depression, dark night of the, shh. This is, you need a nap. So, too many. What about Taurus is going to do? Like I said, it's that ego energy. Just like, you're almost like, I can't be bothered. Can't be bothered. You know, eyes on the prize. You know, if people are talking, let them. If people don't get you, let them. Yeah, there's like this unbothered. It's like, I can't. I'm going to go take a nap. Set the timer. Talk to me in a half hour. Or however long you'd like to take naps for. So, yeah, there is an element of feeling yourself rising above it all. Don't buy into anybody else's stuff, because it's almost like you have a bigger picture in mind, and you're just not going to let anything kind of knock you. Even if it looks like everything's changing and transforming, you might be the one that's doing it. So now we're going to do general with the oracle. 1, 2, 3. All right. You got the mountain, you got the rose, and the lion. Remember I said, like, you know, mountain's got to come to you? The mountain is some kind of obstacle. The rose is an offer, and the lion is like a surprise card where it's like, yo, you hear this roar? I got something for you. We'll get into that in a second, but looking at relationship-wise, you got the Cupid. Cupid's nice and all, but he's still stabbing you. That heart is still bleeding. Still, okay, and the swords. And then the anchor. So it's almost like, what is holding you down or back? It's just like you might feel a certain way about it. It might not feel 100% good, but at the same time, you're keeping the grounding. And you're not letting all the little pokey jabbies get to you. So we're talking about the, you know, finance stuff. This is usually emotions for me, but in this spot, it is career. It is, you know, job related, etc., or whatever you do. With the cats. This could be current because the cats are like the superficial thing. It's very top level, you know, aloof. Someone's not like authentic. Because you know how you pet a cat and they act like they like it and then they turn around and rip your hand off? It's that kind of vibe. Like, It's like no, I almost said watch your back, but yeah. So there's like an awareness that you have that it's not on, you know, something isn't sitting right with you. And you're waiting to get that, you know, clarity. 7 of Cups, 2 of Cups, waiting for that opportunity to pop up. Keep your back up. Don't get involved in any kind of kerfuffle stuff going on. Like, keep your nose clean. Head down. Just eyes on the prize, you know. So going back here, we're going to clarify what is coming in. Here's the bear. This is the money. This is a career card as well. You have like a bull bear market. This is the guy who is, you know, the protective aspect of it. The pig. The pig, you know, fat and happy. I'm not calling you fat, but what I'm saying is, you know, the pig, he's doing all right. You know, he has what he needs. He has what he wants. The message. There's that offer business coming back through. What is the message? Watch and wait. You know, protect your herd, protect what you care about, but don't go trucking in just yet. So if we're looking at here, what is the stability about? The tree. Something could be long-standing because a tree takes a while to grow, but if the tree isn't healthy, it isn't going to grow. So you're worried about the growth aspect. There's the woman. It's just a person in the situation because they only give you a guy and a girl in this deck. But something needs to get recognized. Someone's loyalty, someone's, you know, stability or ability to stay stable in the face of crud. And the new start. With the children. The children is like, you know, you got to wipe slate clean, that tower energy. If it's not going to be clean, if you're going to be messy, we might have to just reevaluate this. So what is Taurus looking out for here? There's the lilies is like my big Wheel of Fortune card, if you're going to match it up to something. So that is that kind of energy of like, you know, it's almost like, you know, stuff is shifting, stuff is changing, something's coming out. But what is it? It's the crossroads. We're back at that decision thing, right? So I feel like, because that lilies is that Wheel of Fortune card, which is that fate, destiny thing, something's popping up. That in the moon is recognition. It's not moon like intuition and tarot, but it's more like something pops up. Just give me one more on that. It's something you want. Something does come down the pike that you might not be expecting. But at the same time, I wouldn't sweat any stuff around you. Remember what I said? You just stay unbothered, you know? But at the same time, you know, you don't get ready, you are ready. Keep that in mind. Now we're going to do crystal deck. Pull one of those, see how she flies for you. Alright, what is a good stone or crystal for Taurus to think about in April? You got amber. Amber is grounding, healing, cleansing, balancing. All right, a need to balance and healing in our life. Look to the past to shine a light on the future. So yeah, you know, it's that going within. Actually, give me just one more. I know I'm getting greedy on this. I mean, I know that's what we talked about, but give me a how. Give me a how can Taurus do this? It's like, you know, it doesn't do any good if it's stuff you already know. Hematite, originality, inner confidence, protection. I think we're just going to get a replay. All right, it's time to draw on your inner will to move forward. Take responsibility for your existence and work towards a state of grace. Remember how I said, just stay unbothered, stay above it. All right, Taurus, that's what we got for April for major issue, and I'll talk to you in a little bit.